Hey guys, this is Elias with Softfly, and in this video I'm going to show you how to import metabox custom fields using a CSV file and WPL import. Now the first step is to get our file, so I'm going to choose to upload that directly from my computer. Cool. So in this example we're importing a bunch of restaurants, and I have here this custom post type created, and as you can see we don't actually have any restaurants created in this site. So I'm going to choose new items, and then from this pull down I'm going to select the post type I want to import, which in this case is restaurants. Cool. So let's continue to step 2, and here in step 2 we have 1200 restaurants, and this is all of the data we have in our import file. We have our name, the cuisine, the ratings, description, some images, some address fields, then we have some time pickers, then a date picker, and well, a bunch of other data, including 2 repeater elements, which in metabox are called groups. So let's just get this file imported, but first let's say maybe you don't want to import all 1200 restaurants. Perhaps you only want to import some of them, right? Maybe you only want to import the ones that are in the state of New York. Well, WPL import will allow you to filter out some content in your import file by using these manage filtering options. Now, to use this, you need to, well, maybe know your file a little bit. So in this case, I know that this is an element, the state, I can filter by. So if you know your file, like for example, you want to filter out some restaurants based on the type of food they're serving, maybe for French cuisine, right? Or maybe Italian. Well, if your file has that element, then you can absolutely use it. For example, we have here the cuisine element, and we have, for example, this restaurant. It's from American food, and it's located in New York. So I could filter out all of the restaurants that won't meet that criteria, right? So let's do that. I'm gonna choose an element from here, and I'm gonna choose state. Then for the rule, I'm gonna choose equals, and type in here the value I want to filter my restaurants by, which in this case is New York. I'm gonna add this rule, and I'm gonna apply the filters to XPath. Now you will notice here this weird code. This is XPath, and guys, if you know what this is, if you know what XPath is, then awesome. You know you can do all sorts of crazy stuff here, but you don't actually need to know what XPath is, how it works, or any of that. Just know that WPL import is transforming this CSV file into an XML, and that's the reason why we can use XPath. All right. Now, you will notice that not only WPL import generated this XPath expression, but it also filtered out all of the restaurants that are not in the state of New York. In this case, we have 122 restaurants, and this is what we're going to import. So let's continue to step 3. All right. And here on step 3, we just need to drag and drop the elements from this right panel into whatever field we want those elements to go. For example, this is the title element, and this is the content here in WordPress. Let me show you real quick. Here we have our title and the content fields. So this is pretty much what we have here. So I'm gonna drag and drop this name element to be the title. And I'm gonna drag and drop the description right here to be the description of my restaurant. Cool. So here we have the images. So for the images section, this is a little bit different because I have a metabox element for the gallery. So I'm not gonna use this gallery element. I only want to import this featured image. Now guys, in your case it may be different, so just keep that in mind. It's cool. I just drag and drop the featured image element here. So I'm gonna preview and test this, and as you can see, WPL import is able to detect my image. You can see here the URL, and if I click here, you will see that it's accessible via browser, so that's always a good sign. But it's a good idea to click on the Run Test button just to make sure that WPL import is able to access this image. All right, now this is the case, so that's good. Let's dismiss this. And here we have some advanced options for images, For the most cases, you will just leave this as it is by default because these are pretty good settings for any kind of import. But if you want to change them or whatever, just hover on the question mark and it will show you what this option actually do. In this example, what I'm most interested in is this option that says set the first image to be the featured image. The reason for that is because this is what we're going to import here for the featured image, right? So if I disable this, WPL import won't attach this to the feature image field. Cool, so I'm gonna leave it as it is. Then I'm gonna scroll down a little bit and I'm gonna jump into the metabox add-on section. Here you will find the custom fields you have for that custom post type, right? So I'm gonna enable this. And here we have all of the fields I have created with metabox. Now I'm gonna show you real quick. Here we have different tabs because I actually created the structure in this way. So here we have the map address, street, country, state, neighborhood, and city. And there we go. These are simple text fields. Then here on the details tab, we have opening time, which is a time picker, closing time, same, open since, which is a date picker, then ratings, which is radio. This one is a checkbox. Here we have some select fields and some text fields. Then we have our gallery, which metabox doesn't actually have a gallery field. Instead, it's called image advanced. So keep that in mind. If you want to import multiple image in a single field, you need to use the image advanced field in metabox, right? So then we have the menu tab, which has a radio field and a text field. And here we have a repeater, which in metabox it's called a group field, a clonable group field. So we can add as many repeater objects like so. And these repeater objects have three subfields. We have a name text field. This is a text area field, and a price field, which is a numeric field, right? Then we have the reviews, which is another clonable group, aka repeater. And here we have a different structure for the reviews in the site, but we can add as many as we want to. Cool, so let's do that. I already showed you how our site is looking here in WordPress. So let's start dragging and dropping stuff here in our metabox add-on. So we have here our map address, which is, here it is. Cool, then we have the street, country is here. Cool, then the state here, city, and neighborhood. Cool. Then here for the opening time, we can actually select that directly from here using this nice UI. But since we do have an opening and closing time elements, I'm gonna drag and drop that from here, like so. Cool. Now guys, this will use the str2time function. So you will be able to use pretty much any readable time or date format for this date picker field here, and WPL import will be able to understand this and import it correctly, right? So again, same with the date picker. You can choose a static value from here, or you can drag and drop an element like I'm doing right here. And as long as your data is in a readable format by the PHP str2time function, then you should be good. Now, this rating element is a dropdown, right? So you can go ahead and select a value from here, and WPL import will import this same value to all 122 restaurants. But we don't want that because every restaurant is different, right? Some of them are pretty good, some of them kind of sucks. So we do want to be able to differentiate them using the actual rating, right? So to do that, to use an element from our import file right here, I'm gonna set this with XPath, and I'm gonna drag and drop the value like so. Cool. So same here for the cuisine. I can select here as many values as I want, but if I want to actually use the actual ones from each record in my import file, I need to set this with XPath. So I'm gonna drag and drop that here. And there you go. Then for the dress code, same. Executive chef, it's right here, chef name. Guys, you will notice real quick, you will notice that some of these elements won't share the same name as the field, and that's good. This is what makes WPL import so powerful, because it won't limit you to use any specific structure or maybe specific column names or file or whatever to import your data. No, you just drag and drop whatever values you want. You can even drag and drop multiple values in the same field, and they will work too. All right, so keep that in mind, guys. Just drag and drop stuff into whatever field you want those elements to go. Now here for the phone number, we have that here, school, then the website right here. Awesome. Then here in the gallery field, we have our media gallery separated with commas in an external server. You can see that here, and here's the comma, and here's another image. So I'm gonna drag and drop this element right here, and I'm gonna use a comma to separate those images. Awesome. So here I'm gonna enable this search to the media library for existing images before importing new ones feature, which is the same one we found right here in the images section. And I gotta be honest, guys, we won't find probably a lot of duplicate images in the sync part, but this is always a good setting to have enabled, just in case WPL import finds a bunch of duplicate images. Well, why would you want like a bunch of duplicate images in your site, right? That will just like clutter your database and whatnot. So this is always a good idea. Now, these other settings, I'm just gonna leave them as they are. Here for the price range, again, guys, you can select here the value. This is a select field, so you can select that value from here, but that will mean that all of these restaurants will have the same value. So since I want that to be imported dynamically, I'm gonna drag and drop the right value, which is this one. All right, so here for the average price, I'm gonna use that. And here we have two repeater fields, which I showed you right here. One of them is the reviews field, and one of them is the recommended dishes field. So as I showed you before, guys, this is a repeater field, better known in metabox as a clonable group. So we have basically two ways of importing this in CSV. One of them is the fixed way, which is used for when you have a fixed number of sub-elements or sub-objects in your repeater field. So in this example, we have 4 recommended dishes, and this number is the exact same for each one of these 122 restaurants. Actually, for the whole file, for all 1,200 restaurants, we only have 4 recommended dishes. So I'm gonna use this fixed repeater mode, and I'm gonna add 4 rows like so, 3 and 4. Awesome. Then I'm gonna drag and drop each one of these elements. For example, menu name 1 is gonna be here, menu description 1 here, and menu price 1 is gonna be here. Then I'm gonna drag and drop menu name 2, and so on and so forth with all of the other elements, because as I said, this is a fixed repeater or fixed group field, right? Then we have here the last one, right? Cool. With this, WPL import will be able to populate or recommended dishes repeater. Great. So let's scroll down a little bit, and here we have the reviews. Now, guys, the reviews are a little bit different. So we have here the review name, review comment, and review rating. I'm going to show you real quick here in our site. Here we have customer name, comments, and review rating. So as you can see, this is the first element. It's separated with a pipe, and here we have Alison Mayer, which is the second, and then Victoria Pearson, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, this, and this other element have the same structure. We have some data separated with pipes. And the way this works is basically this guy, Aaron Turner, wrote this comment, which is the first one. You can see it's the first one, and left this rating in this restaurant. So I'm gonna select here variable CSV, because we are importing a CSV file using WPL import, and I'm gonna set the separator character as a pipe, but you can use a comma, semicolon, or whatever your file is using. All right, guys. Then I'm gonna enable the ignore blank fields, because maybe some of these may have some blank spaces in between elements, so I'm gonna ignore those. You can hover on the question mark if you want to know a little bit more about how this works. And then I'm gonna drag and drop my elements right here. This is gonna be the review name. It's gonna be the customer name. This is gonna be the comment. And here I'm not gonna use the UI, but I'm gonna use this set with XPath option and drag and drop the review rating like so. Cool. With this, WPL import will be able to create as many repeater groups as necessary. And this is why it's called a variable repeater, because maybe this restaurant has 1, 2, 3, 5 reviews, but maybe this one only have 3, right? So if we use the fixed mode, then WPL import will leave a blank group right there, and we don't want that. And that's only for this example, because we only have 4 elements, but this first one has 5. So this last guy, Linda Nelson, won't be in our side because we only have 4 repeater columns here. All right. So we have more info on this in other videos in our channel. You can look them up, or you can go to our website at wplimport.com. From there, click on the docs menu at the top and go nuts there. Now, if you're feeling a little bit lost even after that, and you need some help or whatever, just don't worry and contact our support team. We'll be more than happy to help you out, guys. Now, let's just continue with our import. This is all looking real nice. We have all of our fields in metabox ready. We have our images and the standard WordPress stuff. So I'm gonna scroll down a little bit, all right, and open up here the taxonomies section. Now for the taxonomies, we have cuisine, booking speed, and availability. Now I have these fields right here. So I'm gonna enable the cuisine, drag and drop that right here. And I know for a fact that we only have 1 per restaurant, so it's fine. But if you need to use, for example, this option, which will contain multiple elements, you can use that. Or maybe if your file structure uses a hierarchical taxonomy, you can use that too. Right? Again, we have more info on importing taxonomies at our website or at our YouTube channel. Just go there and you will find what you're looking for. Now here for the booking speed, same thing, guys. We only have 1, so I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop that. And same for this field right here. Cool. So this is ready. I'm gonna skip the other restaurant options because this is just standard WordPress stuff like post status, post dates, comments, log, post author, and whatnot. So this is gonna be all default values, right? If you had an element in your file, you can of course use this, but no, it's not necessary for this example. As for the slug, well, WPL import will just do as WordPress does, which is sanitize the title and make it its look. That's what's going to happen here if we leave it empty. Well, if I don't specify here an email, an ID, or an username to be the post author, well, it will be whatever user is running this import, in this case, me with my Softfly account, right? So as I said, I'm just going to skip all of this and jump straight into the function editor. Right, so here the function editor is very easily the most powerful feature in WPL import, guys, because it will allow you to run PHP functions directly in your import file and while the import actually runs. So I don't know, let's say you need to change some of this stuff. For example, say you have your cuisine in, I don't know, maybe all in lower caps, right? Which will be ugly. Well, you can use a PHP function to change that first letter to uppercase, right? You can capitalize that. Or you can do mathematical operations with the prices, or I don't know, guys. You can do pretty much anything you can think of. You can connect to Startup server via API. You can do whatever you can think of that PHP will allow, you can do that here, right? So very powerful, guys. If you want to learn more about this, same as before, go to our website, go to our YouTube channel, go nuts there, and if you feel a little bit lost, contact our support team. Cool. We won't be doing that in this example though, so I'm just gonna close this and continue to step 4, because again, we have everything we need here in step 3. Cool, guys. So here for the unique identifier, this is basically a way WPL import has to differentiate one record from another. And this is very important because if WPL import is not able to differentiate one restaurant from another, well, then it won't create 2 restaurants. It will only create one, and then it's gonna use the data from the second one to update the first one, which is not what we want, right? So let's just click here on the auto attack button, and WPL import will choose the right unique identifier for us. Now, in this case, it chose the name, which makes sense because all of the names of these restaurants are different. So WPL import will know that this delight dinner is different than this flavor forest, and that this whatever name you have here and here and here and here, well, all of these are different, and WPL import will know that and assign each one of them their own values, and according, of course, to what we placed in step 3. So again, this very important. Click here on the auto attack button or read this text to know how this works, and drag and drop the value you want right here. Cool. Same as before, you can drag and drop multiple values, but you know, let's just continue. Here we have these other advanced options, and guys, these are mostly for when you need to rerun this import for whatever reason. In this first run, we just want to keep this as it is, right? Because we're importing new restaurants and we want all of the data. We don't want to remove or anything like that. We just want to import this as it is. And then if we wanted to maybe rerun this import for whatever reason, then we can choose not to create restaurants from this import file, maybe, because, I don't know, perhaps we deleted some restaurants in our site, right? Well, for example, let's say we deleted this delight dinner in our site. Then if we rerun this import, we don't want to actually create it again, right? Well, you can disable that. Or if you actually want to create a bunch of restaurants that you deleted by mistake or whatever, but you don't want to update the existing ones because maybe you updated the prices, the addresses, or whatever you updated in those restaurants, well, you can disable this option. Or you can disable this one that says keep restaurants if their data in the import file has not changed. You can disable this if you want to update all of it, regardless of whether the data has changed or not. Again, it gives you a lot of flexibility, and you can hover on this question mark to know a little bit more about how this works. But that's the gist of it, all right? You can also choose which data to update, because maybe you only want to import, I don't know, maybe only images, right? Because some restaurants updated their photos or whatever. Well, you can choose to update only the images and leave all of the other data in Metabox, WordPress, or whatever you have that data on untouched, right? So that's cool. Again, in this example, I want to update all of the data, so this won't matter. And here we have a function to remove or modify restaurants that are no longer present in this import file. So guys, this is pretty neat, especially if you're using a file that's coming from a URL, because this file, I'm uploading it directly from my computer into WordPress. So my file is already in my site. So that won't change, right? But if you're using a file from a provider or whatever that's coming via URL, well, that file can change, and maybe some restaurants will be deleted from that list, right? And if you rerun this import, you can choose to send the restaurants that are no longer present here to the trash. Maybe you want to change the status. Maybe you don't want to send them to the trash. Maybe you want to change the status to draft, right? Or private or whatever. Or maybe you want to set a custom field that's called status. All right, you can assign that value to be closed, right? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of flexibility here to be used. You can even add multiple fields and do pretty much whatever you want here. Or you can choose to straight up delete those restaurants and even the files and image attached to those restaurants. But keep in mind, guys, that this is very potentially destructive. So it's always a good idea to have some backups just in case you're deciding to use this option, right? So again, I'm not gonna use this, but if you want to, just click here on this little YouTube icon and you will be taken to a video where we talk a little bit more in depth of this option, right? So I'm gonna disable this, cool. And here we have the scheduling options, which again, in this example, it doesn't actually make any sense because we're running this import with a file directly in our site. So that file won't change. So it doesn't matter if we actually schedule this because, well, none of the values will change, right? So, but again, if you're using a CSV located in an external server or maybe a feed, a XML feed, or maybe Google Sheets, OneDrive file, I don't know, then it will be very useful to have these scheduling options in case you're updating your restaurant's database in a recurring way, maybe once a week or once a month or whatever. Perhaps you want to import new reviews, right? Well, if you do want to import new reviews, just schedule your import to run maybe once a week or every single day or whatever. And WPL import will run this import automatically and update whatever data you tell WPL import to update here using these settings. Cool. So there you go. As I said before, just check out the other videos on your channel, check out our docs, and you will know more about these scheduling options, which are pretty nice. Now, here for the advanced options, these first ones are basically for debugging purposes. You can hover on the question mark, and it will show you a brief description of what these options does. But just keep in mind, guys, if this import terminates for whatever reason, you will be giving a little message telling you what to do, and for the most cases you will go here and lower the records per iteration, maybe change this or disable the do actions calls in this import, and this is pretty much what this option does, right? Here we have the ability to import only some records, and here we have on this question mark you have the syntax to be used here. For example, you can import from records 1 to 10, and then you want to import 15, the 15th record. Then you want to import the record number 20, and then you want to import from the 25 to the, I don't know, 29, right? Again, hover on this question mark and you will know the syntax to be used here. Now, I don't want to do that. And here for the friendly name, I'm gonna call this restaurants. Cool. And this is gonna be the label for this import. Cool. So this all is pretty much done, guys. So I'm gonna click here on the continue button. Here we have a brief summary with the filter we placed to import only the restaurants in the state of New York. So guys, all of this is looking good. So I'm gonna confirm and run this import. Right, so this should be fairly quick. All right. So here we have 122 new records, and that's the number we expected. Let's see if that's true. Here, all restaurants, and there we go. We have 122 restaurants. So this is real nice, guys. Let's see how this looks in the front end, where we have this beautiful website. And here we go. We have here a bunch of restaurants that are looking real nice. Let's open this one up and see what's going on. All right, so we have our title, the feature image, the star ratings, these are taxonomies. This is the price average, cuisine, open scenes, description, address, neighborhood, open at, close at, price. Here we go. Here's our gallery. Real nice, real yummy. It's cool. All right, then here we have our recommended dishes. And guys, this is real nice because this is the fixed repeater or the fixed clonable group we use here in the metabox add-on section. So that's nice. We have the name of the dish, then we have some description and the price. Cool. Then the text element we use for the map absolutely worked, so that's nice. And then here we go. Here we have our reviews, so that's nice. It's cool. Yeah, it seems to be imported very well. Let's see how this looks here on the restaurant page. And here we have our taxonomies. We have the cuisine, booking speed, availability, and the feature image, title, description. Here we have the map address fields, which are pretty much all of them text fields. Then here for the details, we have our opening time, closing time, open scenes, ratings. All of this is looking real nice, guys. Let's see our gallery, which, as I said before, guys, it's not a gallery field per se because Metabox doesn't have that. It's an image advanced field, right? Just works as a gallery. Then we have here our menu tab with the price range, average price, and the recommended dishes repeater, which is really good because we have 4 elements, all of them populated, which is nice. Then here for the reviews, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. This one has 4 elements, so that's cool. And all of them have their own values. So there you go. That's how you import Metabox custom fields using a CSV file and WPL import. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and if you want to know more about how to import or export other Metabox data, or maybe some jet engine custom fields, maybe some advanced custom fields, maybe some ACF fields, why not? Or perhaps you're interested in importing or exporting other WordPress data like WooCommerce orders, products, and whatnot, just check out the other videos in our channel, check out our website at wplimport.com, and see you next time.